1.
Sync.
Hello and everybody, and welcome to the BrickFeed Podcast.
Hello and everybody.
I'm your host, Jonathan Juan.
I am a cast member, Meso.
I am also a cast member, Prpl.
I am also a cast member, but that might change in the future, and my name is the XX Trooper.
And welcome to the BrickFeed Podcast, everybody. Recorded the week of December 21st, 2017.
Is it snow right now for you guys?
Yeah, and I
It is
hate
not
it.
snow. It's not
God.
snow.
Really?
I had like
It's
a
not snowing.
4-minute snowfall, and then it's not only
Snow.
it's back warmed up, but it's
so
super muggy.
much.
Doesn't
foggy.
snow put you in the Christmas mood, you know?
I don't celebrate
it does.
Christmas. It just makes me depressed.
Oh.
Snow's just
Oh.
snow. Ugh.
Don't you celebrate Snowman Day? Don't you celebrate
Snowflake Day.
the winter
We've been
solstice?
over this. Snowflake Jake will bring you tidings of great joy.
The end
Yeah,
of-
it's the holiday for millennials everywhere. Snowflake Day.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
We gotta find the true meaning of Snowflake Day.
The true meaning is me. I'm the true meaning of Snowflake Day.
and put it on
What?
Instagram. Yay.
Yeah, I know. When would Snowflake Day be? Can we decide on this? Can we
Should
Right
we create
now.
Snowflake Day right now?
Actually, you know
December
what?
21st.
Today's 12/21st, so it could be, or we can make it 12/12 because it's like all about you. So it's like, hey, December 12th.
What is the most
This is
egotistical
repeating that whole
number?
thing.
From 1 to 30?
1-1.
No, that's
January 1st.
11, I guess. So
Oh no, we could make it January 1st. Snowflake Day could be January 1st because it's all about you look out for number 1.
yeah, but
You are
don't you
number
think
one.
people are too busy celebrating like New Year's the day before, you know?
You
I don't
guys, have you
celebrate
guys seen
New
Rick and
Year's.
Morty?
Yeah, I've seen it.
No, okay, Prpl. Okay, I understand why you don't celebrate Christmas. That makes sense. New Year's is not a religious holiday. New Year's is just the calendar turning over.
I mean,
But
yeah, but
you-
like I don't like go out partying until midnight
you
or
ever?
whatever.
Wait, do
No.
you not like just hang out with friends until midnight?
No,
What?
just stay
Okay.
up by myself.
That's
Prpl,
so
you're boring.
sad.
I say as I do the exact same thing.
We are like the same person, Meso. You have no right to judge.
Oh yes, we are the same
I
person.
probably leave my house more than you
I've
do.
just been keeping my drawing skills locked in, but really, we're the same, you and
I mean, you could.
I sell my commissions
sealed
under an
away.
alias. You'd never know it was me.
Right.
What
That's
are
who
you guys
highly
doing?
suspect was
It's
all along.
fun. 12:21. You guys were up like super late last night. You guys were up at like at 5
Yeah, dude.
a.m. I'm surprised
We
you're
were-
even here on this podcast.
I mean, I wasn't up till 5
I'm not gonna lie.
What were you
I
guys
woke
up
up at
doing
3.
so late?
I woke up at 3 today.
They were
That's
playing
why I was like super
PUBG,
late.
or like they were trying to, but they kept having like frame rate drops and like people
Nice.
kept dying. John, do you
Okay.
remember when you couldn't kill that one dude who was right in front of you because of the reload?
Yeah. Well, I had to. Listen, you don't need to rub it in, Prpl.
I mean,
Just
I'm not
'cause
trying to. It's just really
wait,
funny.
John, John, you said
So,
you woke
yeah.
up at 3, like 3 in the afternoon?
3 in the afternoon. 3 in the
Wow.
afternoon. Yeah. So, what happened is that like me and Var are playing PUBG, and I got a crossbow, and and there's a guy who he surprised Var, he ambushed Var, and I came around and got him, and I missed my first shot, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna shoot another one and get this guy, but I had to reload, and it takes a long time to reload, and if you have a crossbow in PUBG, and so as I was reloading, the guy turned around and killed me. So he had a gun. Neither of us had a gun. We were kind of unaware.
You failed
after you
the
left, though,
quickscope,
Prpl,
and that's
I
what you
think
get.
Purple's kind of our bad luck charm because the moment Prpl left, we actually lasted until not the very end, but like one of the teams at the very end, one of the top 4 teams.
Wow.
So
what was
we
your
guarded pretty
ranking
well
like?
when Prpl wasn't around. It was like my ranking was ultimately was like 9 or 10.
Ooh, spicy.
Out of 100, yeah. So I was actually kind of happy with that. It's the first time playing PUBG and a new map. I haven't played PUBG too much, if at all, but
Seems
it's
like
been
an
a really fun
interesting game.
yeah, no, it's been really fun.
What I want more than anything is Lego PUBG the game.
OMG.
Thinking
I
about
would
it.
love that.
Oh, and PUBG.
No. More like Fortnite. I guess it would be more like Fortnite. We could build
Yeah.
stuff, and also you could like shoot with like the Star Wars
blaster.
blasters or something. Yeah.
You know, Meso, there's this game called Minecraft where people have been doing this kind of
really?
battle royale type stuff for a pretty long time. So if you're
Sounds
looking
interesting.
for,
Tell me more.
that's pretty much the closest thing to Lego PUBG right
You know
now.
what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw up a picture of.
Please don't
PUBG.
throw up.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I'm gonna
audio.
throw up right now.
Do you think the battle royale thing? Oh, this is turning into not Lego related.
No,
but,
listen.
but do you guys
We'll
think
talk a
that-
little bit,
Do you
and then
do you
we'll-
think the
we'll-
battle royale,
we'll
just
come
really quick, just do you think the battle royale fever will like die out pretty soon?
Eventually, but not yet.
out?
It
I
will
think
go
it's
the
kind
way
of
of
like
every
it's like a
genre.
MOBA thing. You know, like it is a new genre, so it's like one of those deals where, you know, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's here to stay, but it is definitely like one of those things that it's a genre that's going to be refined over time. And sometimes, like, I would say 3 years ago that team-based shooters were dead, because after TF2 and after some of the other, like, you know, there's some knockoffs and that thing, but like
And
team-based
then
shooters were kind of
Overwatch
dead. And then
came.
Overwatch came, and then suddenly everyone's into team-based shooters again. And now we have Lawbreakers. Now we have
Lawbreakers wasn't successful though.
Lawbreakers
Lawbreakers
sucked.
was less successful
Lawbreakers
than
sucked so bad.
Battleborn, and Battleborn
It's the
was like
greatest tragedy because it's not even a bad game from all reports. It's just kind of generic. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
So why
It's
would you
ve- it's
ever
just
play
very
it?
mediocre.
Well,
Overwatch.
the character designs are what stands out about them. Like you're not going to see like minifigures. Hey, turn it back in. We're not going to see like minifigures of Lawbreakers characters, right? Like
No.
name one dude from Lawbreakers.
I couldn't.
Even if you
couldn't-
haven't played
I
Overwatch,
genuinely
you generally know about Tracer, right? You're like, you know Tracer. You probably have seen like Hanzo or Genji or Mercy or like Reinhardt. There's a ton of super iconic characters from Overwatch. So you see it and you're like, oh, that's an Overwatch character.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the designs are iconic, and that's what you have to do if you're a team-based shooter. You got to make those characters feel real.
You know it.
But and yeah. Anyhow, let's get back into the Lego thing.
yes. How about them
Yeah.
building blocks?
I was
yeah?
up late. I was up super late last night doing that, and I did get before we talk about what sets we got, I got a set that I was kind of building last night, but then I didn't finish it just because. But I've started, and it's kind of cool. It's the Women of NASA set. They
Ooh.
Lego sent
Nice.
the Women of NASA set to all the ambassadors this year. Thank you, Lego. Shout out to you as a company. The one company we have a whole podcast based around. It's a pretty neat set. I'm not gonna lie. I do like. I'm a big fan of the flesh tone for the minifigures. I like that a lot. I know some people like are kind of like minifigure purists. They like the just a yellow skin, not skin, but the yellow flesh, I guess, and the smiley face. But I really like the flesh tones because they feel like they're more official, like licensed stuff. And I guess Women in NASA is a licensed thing, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to see that.
Do you think-
Fantastic.
But yeah,
Would-
there you go. That's
Would
what I
you
got.
want, John, for all of Lego to just completely get rid of the yellow flesh tone and just all use like just realistic flesh tones? Like ideally, do you think?
I wouldn't say ideally. There is something iconic about the yellow minifigure. The one thing I do want more than anything else, I want them to make flesh tones of people who aren't licensed, just so I can have regular civilians. Because I do like them. I really do like them a lot. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and some people think it's sacrilegious. I don't think so. But I do like having the flesh tones for making my own sig fig, and a big thing I would want is for an Asian character. And the issue is we have had Asian characters in movies now, and they have been adapted into Lego form, and they do not get their own flesh tone. There is both, who is it? What's his name? Chimwit? No, who's the other guy? Chirrut
Imwe.
Imwe last year for Rogue One, and Rose this year for The Last Jedi. And both of them just like they have the same flesh.
Yeah. So you want
So
just an entirely new color that's just not there yet?
Yeah,
for Lego.
for Asians. Yeah,
Interesting.
I think we need representation.
Fair enough, I suppose.
We'll see if
It's
Lego
like
does
some,
that.
some people say like I've heard people say in the past, well, there's already there's a yellow skin.
Oh
There's
no,
like you just use a normal.
don't.
And I'm like, come on, that's like bright yellow. That's like you know how the
That's like
stormtroopers.
literally
used to-
racist.
I know, right? I was like, there was someone here used to say it. And I was like, dude, come on. There's another thing, like it's like saying, like the stormtroopers. You know how the stormtroopers have like the the black head. I mean, like it's like literally like just the color black. You know? Yeah, that's
Oh my
exactly the same
God.
thing. It's just like
People
it's just,
actually say
it's
that?
a bright color. People have actually said that.
Oh my
That's
god,
horrible.
people are so stupid.
I've been told that to my face by
That is unfortunate. So,
yeah.
did anyone else get anything? Because I did.
I haven't bought a Lego set in like months, dude.
I actually did, but you go first, X. I'm
I
curious.
actually have a bit of a story to this one because there is a Dutch song. All right, that's it just says "Batskebur" all the time, basically, and that means what? That sounds like it means washing
sorry, I was just a bit
cages
thrown off.
in Norwegian. And my girlfriend, it's hilarious for my girlfriend to listen to that song. And so I found while I was shopping, I found in a store that usually doesn't sell Lego, it had some leftover mixels or something, and there was this guy. And I was just holding that and just send it to her because it has like washing stuff, so it's like washing cages, you know. It was just hilarious. So I basically bought that as a joke. That's the end of it, really. And I've grown to quite like the guy. I think he's pretty funny. I've yet to build him, unfortunately, because he is not available to me right now. But he looks funny.
I miss Mixels. They were some of the most unique builds.
Yeah.
Do you miss Mixels? I remember when it ended, we were both Mixels are alright. They're alright.
The show wasn't great, but for value, not just for like the builds and stuff, but also just the pieces they always had. They were great figures and some really creative concepts. They didn't have much of an appeal unless you wanted to collect them all. That was the problem, because their whole gimmick was like combining together.
But they had great parts. They had
really innovative
The mixed
idea.
joints were possibly one of the best innovations to come out of Lego in the last
I will
year or two.
probably say it's the best thing that happened last 10 years. By far. It's crazy how and because the fact that it's already compatible with pieces that we already have that were produced in like 1990 something. It's insane.
Yeah. It's such a simple concept, just having ball joints, but like at a way smaller scale. I'm like surprised they haven't like done the socket pieces.
What if they
sooner.
brought back BIONICLE as a system construction line, guys? What if
That'd
they
be crazy, right? You know,
that'd be
They have
kind
to
of crazy,
make a
right?
few innovations to the formula, but I think it could work.
I would like to see that. I would like to see like figures built in that. I wonder how that would look like.
Well, the main
As
thing
much
with
as I
Mixel
enjoy
joints is whenever
construction.
people use them, the limbs are always very spindly because they don't have like form-fitting armor for the Mixel joint, if that makes any sense. It's just like a few bricks on one side. If they created some new parts to work, I honestly do think that could work as a formula. But
The one thing I kind of like,
so.
the one thing I kind of wish about the Mixel joints is that they actually here, I'll copy and paste this photo in case you want to talk about it, X. The one thing, the Mixel joints actually don't really work as fingers all too well on a normal scaled construction set, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah. All right, what do you want to talk about Sentinel for a second, X?
No, I just gave some examples for figures in which they've actually used Mixel joints. For figures, and it's just
and Groot
that
too,
kind of
right?
figure bothers me because it doesn't have proper like arm articulation. But I understand some of the figures do. Like, you know, it all depends on how you orient the forearms. But I think it could be done. I honestly do. And that Nexo Knight set,
this one over here.
That one is a far better example of something that could be done.
Yeah, it also
It's
has
still not perfect, but it does have armor on multiple sides.
It's better than
so
Groot.
It's better than
like. Yeah, it's better than all the other ones because it actually feels like a big figure. I know the actual like what's it called, macro figs.
Like Giant Man and Ares.
The giant man and no, the big figs aren't big figs the stupid ones I hate.
Yeah, I think we're talking about the big like Ant-Man. Oh yeah, those
Macro
are different.
figures.
Yeah, those are also really cool. I like them.
Yeah, Giant Man. I'm gonna throw up a picture of him.
I think it's the biggest thing about just having Lego's charm while it's still being a bigger figure, and that's why I really hate big figs because they don't look Lego. If that makes any sense.
Nope, they do not.
Yeah, exactly.
They
That's
just look
the thing
like an action figure.
They just look like a stupid figure you get, and additionally, on top of that, it has less articulation. That's the thing I always gripe about because I'm like, I don't know why you would do a bigger action style figure
and then have
with
less
Lego
articulation.
that's compatible and have less articulation. Why would you just create a giant ugly plastic block that no one can use? You know?
Yeah, that is really stupid.
There's a I believe we were looking at the Nexo sets just the other day, and they have a big fig thing, and like the head is actually like molded onto the set, so you can't move the head even. So you can literally only move the arms and the hands. Those are the only points of articulation that they have for that set. It's just, yeah,
that's no good.
I really hate it. Hate it. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Meso, what'd you get?
Design a better figure.
As a Christmas gift, early Christmas gift, I was lucky enough to procure the new Darth Vader Constraction figure.
Ah.
Ooh.
And I will say this. For the few people who still care about Constraction, number one, I'm sorry. Number two, this set is actually pretty cool.
Do you have a photo of it?
There is a photo posted in the chat. I'm going to post a few photos, actually.
Okay.
Number one, here's a photo I took of the instructions, just to show how intricate the torso is, because I expected it to be rather formulaic. It's not. That picture didn't embed, but if you click it, it should work. It's one of the most custom torsos they've done recently. It combines gearbox versus and you can't see it, but like there's a ton of stuff on the back with like paneling and back armor and different points of attack.
You've been using a BIONICLE torso there.
Yeah, it is. It's using one of the very small Star Wars torsos that allows them, it doesn't have a neck joint, which allows them to build up from it and do all sorts of stuff in order to simulate.
No, those were first in BIONICLE. Those were like the beasts that we had at the very end. Or like the Toas,
You're right, Storm
I think
Beast had them.
Yeah, they were both. No, they're actually
the Uniter torsos had the waist gear. These don't.
Yeah,
right,
I noticed that, Matt. I am wrong, 100%.
I don't actually think you are, because Storm Beast, but I'm not sure whether Kylo Ren had it first or Storm Beast. But either way, it's a cool little torso piece. It doesn't get enough use.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
The actual figure itself, here's a blurry, poorly lit photo. Sorry about that. It's really cool. You can see it didn't even crop fully. Well, but either way, my favorite thing about him is the waist cape, which you can see there. It attaches to the side, and it's a secondary cape to complement the one that attaches to his neck. I'm a sucker for capes and fabric, and I just think that brings the look home really well. Here is a comparison picture that...
Okay.
Let me get the actual person's Flickr name. I believe it was Battle Droid Bricks. Did an Instagram review of Darth Vader, which, by the way, pretty creative concept. Doing an Instagram review. But they actually did a comparison picture between this Vader and the original Vader, which was criticized for being very blocky, very unrefined. It was a good step in the right direction, but it didn't really pull off the look as well, especially in comparison.
Yeah, that
this
new
one's
one
not
is
perfect.
So much better. It looks so much more
the new
solid.
one. Okay, well, hold up. Let me take a good look at this. The new one is the one on the right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was hoping so, I guess, because I wasn't sure if you guys were talking about the one on the left, and I was like, I don't think this looks good at all. All right,
I was talking about the one on the left in the sense that it was a pretty rough, unrefined step in the right direction, but this was come around and it's altered a lot of things about it. The main criticisms people had were the fact that his legs are kind of gappy because it's very difficult to see, but he has some armor attachments on both the front and the back of both the upper legs and the lower legs, and those are problematic in the sense that if you look at him from the side, there are some gaps there. But thankfully, the Genius half cape covers all that up. And
that
it
actually
doesn't ruin the look
kind of
at all.
smart. Oh. Interesting.
And the biggest thing that it has to its credit, I guess, is the fact that I'm going to just link this dude's Instagram gallery so you can all peruse it, but the head actually does pop off to reveal Anakin Skywalker's burned face.
No.
Wait.
Really?
Anakin
Hold up.
Skywalker's Darth Vader?
Yeah, I know. Plot twist.
Insane.
Spoilers, dude.
Crazy.
All right, here. Let me post. Let me
click
get this
that and you'll see the
Instagram thing.
full
Yeah.
version.
Give me a second.
It's one of those things where, yes, it still looks kind of weird because all faces that LEGO decides to make in this style, I think, are always doomed to look kind of strange. But Anakin has an excuse because he's been burned beyond recognition and he's supposed to be ugly, so his face is pale white and it has the bags around the eyes. And if you go all around the head, there's different burn marks. And then the helmet just slots down over it and just connects. So, in short, at the end of the day, it's just another black armored Star Wars figure. So if you're sick of those, this probably isn't going to be the thing that makes you go, wow, Constraction's doing great again. But if you want a really good Technic build, and if you don't mind another black armored Star Wars figure with a cape, I think you'll find this one to be one of the best they've released.
Definitely.
I would recommend.
I'm glad I waited on this one because I bought the old Vader, and I was like, they're coming out with a new one. And I bought that, and then I saw this new one. I was like, I need to get this one. And then pictures come out, and I was just like, wow, it's completely terrible because of the scale. It's a good figure if you're only buying that figure, and you're only ever going to have that one Darth Vader. If you have other figures, it looks painfully upscaled compared to others.
Because it's very tall.
I'm looking at the photo that Battle Droid Bricks did on Instagram with Vader next to General Grievous.
Yeah.
And boy, yeah, that definitely shows.
I'm looking at him
as tall as Grievous.
I'm looking at him like next to Stormtroopers, and they look like midgets in comparison. Like
when you buy a set that's that expensive, the height is definitely a bonus, but
that's true.
It can ruin your suspension of disbelief as well.
I guess so, but I do like that they carried the design all the way through, and like this does look a much better, much more realized Darth Vader than they've ever had. And it is nice that Constraction's so continuing, and this is possibly like the best example of like the other Star Wars sets that aren't that are humans basically always suffer. When put into Constraction, honestly, because of the heads and how they're made. But Darth Vader is probably the most iconic character that doesn't have a human head in Star Wars.
I'm glad they finally got a set right, because the last one I thought did some stuff right, but it just kind of janky.
But like the two capes are really smart, like especially because he does have like that skirt basically in the movies, and so now you actually have a thing where you're covering the armor on the sides, and you're actually like giving some more shape. Yeah. I really do like that. Great. I appreciate that.
I honestly don't know if I could recommend, like, I think it's really weird because the set costs $40.
Yeah.
So, by value, compared to, like, what Lego used to cost, I don't, obviously that's ludicrous, Titan Watanui from BIONICLE had, like, 356 pieces, and he cost $50. This guy has, like, 180 something. So, there's always going to be that problem, but in the modern era, Grievous costs $35, and this guy is as tall as him, and he has 2 capes and a 2-part removable head, so I think the extra $5 is somewhat justified. It's going to be up to you if you feel like dropping that amount of money. I know most people probably won't, but if you're craving CCBS in this era where there is none of it that's really worth getting, consider this guy. And
the only thing that's like a little, I feel like there are a little too many printed pieces here.
I agree.
When it comes to
would you prefer them to be stickers?
Oh God.
I would not prefer them to be stickers, but I kind of would, so I wouldn't put them on because I think they look kind of ugly. The ones, the shoulder pieces and the leg pieces, I think look kind of ugly. I get the torso. Torso is printed. I can deal with that. Sure.
Okay, yeah, those thighs look very odd. I don't
right.
I think they are accurate to Vader, but I agree.
I
wouldn't be surprised. They look great. I could have done without them as well.
Well, let me see if I can find an actual thing of Darth Vader's costume.
Without those stickers.
Yeah, right. Now, I think like if I'm getting this, like it limits what I am probably able to do with this thing. So I'm gonna put up this. I'm gonna link this image and also throw it up on the screen. It's not an official image from like the thing, but it is from Soul Calibur, and you can see it actually has the texturing on the sides. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like cloth pants.
Yeah. What
up? Is the lightsaber hilt on this guy? Is it shiny silver?
Yes, it is very shiny silver.
That's new. They
really?
Is it really?
Yeah, because or at least like not the figures I bought. Like if you go through all the pictures and you look at Han Solo, they have like this kind of just normal silver that you have. I said wrong. I meant Luke Skywalker. They totally sound the exact same.
Totally.
But they have this normal silver that you had like just spewed everywhere in Hero Factory and BIONICLE, and so they started doing this like kind of silver because what they had first is that they had chrome on the lightsaber hilts when Star Wars first came out. It's very expensive to continuously produce chrome, so they went with gray. That was too boring, so they went with like a kind of a silver color, and now they have a new kind of silver that's kind of cool and shiny, and they have also added that to Technic construction for this, which I thought is pretty cool.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it is very shiny. Can confirm.
That's nice. And also, I hate with Lego because they have so many interesting things they can make with construction. Because, for example, they have issue with all these like humanoid figures. Why don't they make like battle droids, super battle droids, droidekas? There's so much they can do.
And droidecas. Oh man,
why don't they make
awesome.
Those?
Why don't they make those? I mean, it would be a bit more technic to construction, a little bit with the droidecas, I think. But like, I would immediately get a droideca. Like if you can like fold into the ball and you can like really a Borak, cool. You know, you can roll around and then it folds out. It was one of my favorites.
It's
from,
okay,
the
guys.
Prpl
We
trilogy.
can get the 10th version of a stormtrooper. That's okay. That'll make it better.
I mean,
the First Order trooper.
And people
guys
would
get
make the
Captain
argument.
Phasma, my favorite Star Wars The Last Jedi character.
Which one? Who?
Captain Phasma. You know the girl, the chrome girl. You know.
Yeah, she was cool. She is cool. She is cool.
She is cool. She is really cool.
And I agree with Don in our live studio audience, by the way.
It's totally, totally the best character, I feel, was totally well utilized in the latest movie.
Same!
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Yep. And so I think that was it with the sets we got.
Let's go into our news docket.
All right, let's check what we got with the news. There's a bunch of like kind of random stuff. Not a lot of like super important news came out. We're going to run through some new sets that they kind of announced, and the announcement of a new Lego movie. Not an actual Lego movie. This is a direct-to-DVD movie. The movie called Lego DC Superheroes The Flash has been announced.
They still make those?
They still make those. And, okay, it's really weird because I don't know who produces these movies, but they're doing the old plasticky style, you know, like the old rubbery style. I don't
like the really shiny one too.
Yeah, like the Ninja, like the TV shows style, basically. And I don't know why they do that. Because I feel the movies have brought something to Lego, both when like how they do TV shows and the movies and all that stuff. That's something that everything should try to emulate from now on because it's more true to the set, more true to the product. But they just don't.
I don't understand that either. I don't understand why they would bother with like these small movie type stuff. I'd rather have like used their entire budget to make these cool movies where they have sets and everything. It just seems like the better option, I guess. But I mean, if they're profitable and people keep wanting to watch them, I mean, they'll keep producing them.
Kids do like them, from what I've heard. I mean, obviously they're still making them, so kids do watch them. I think they on Netflix and stuff. They're all on Netflix too. So they said it's coming out February 13th on digital and a month later on Blu-ray and DVD, which is actually kind of odd. You would think that, honestly speaking, I would think that you would prioritize physical over digital just so you could get some physical sales out. You know, because
physical's kind of going out. You know, everything's just digital.
I would say so. I don't buy anything physical when it comes to movies. Here's a synopsis of the show, or the TV movie thing, I guess. The Flash's world spins out of control when his arch nemesis Reverse Flash puts a Scarlet Speedster in a vicious time loop, and Lego DC Superheroes The Flash, the latest animated film for Warner Brothers Animation, yada 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 yada. The Reverse Flash manipulates the Speed Force to put the Flash in a time loop that forces him to relive the same day over and over again. So Groundhog Day, but with Lego. With progressively disastrous results, including losing his powers and being fired by the Justice League. The Flash must find a way to restore time to its original path and finally apprehend his worst enemy before all is lost for the Flash and the world. There's going to be new characters here, including the Atom, Big, a Squirrel, Green Lantern. Oh yeah, that dude. You know this. Oh, okay. Hold up. I'm gonna put a picture of him up soon. Then like the Super Pets, Ace the Bat Hound and Crypto the Super Dog. And
the Bat Hound?
Yeah, Ace the Bat Hound. You didn't know that? Ace.
No.
You ever see Crypto the Super Dog, like, or Louise the Super Pets?
Show.
Yeah, no. Like, there's like the Super Cat. What's her name?
No,
I don't know.
Something the Super Cat, and Aquaman's trusted seahorse Storm. And it's also going to feature an original song, "It's Magic," written by Tim Kelly and Jeremy Adams. performed
Well, that settles
by
I gotta buy the movie now.
it's performed by the Flash, Zatanna, and Dr. Fate. And a bunch of these people are going to be in there. Firestorm's going to be here. The Penguin, I guess, is going to be in here. The Joker, Aquaman, Captain Boomerang, the Mayor. It just says Mayor, so I don't know where that's coming from. But yeah, the Mayor's going to be in here. I'm going to put up a thing of Big, who is not. I thought his name was actually Chip, but I guess it's not Chip.
Rip Chip.
Watch this movie to see your favorite DC hero, the Mayor.
You know it.
Listen, he was my favorite character, and they killed him off in Batman v Superman. I was super annoyed. But anyhow,
spoiler, by the way.
Spoiler for those really invested in the saga of the Mayor and how they adapted him.
Nice.
Yikes! Oh. Give me a second to get this. Wow, it won't let me post this photo, so I'm gonna post a different photo for you guys to see.
Rest in peace.
It's one of those stupid things of Google where they have like the characters are like a billion characters long.
Yeah,
and you
I
can't
hate
see
that.
anything.
Those link things. Ugh.
Yeah, those links. I hate that. But this is him.
What the heck?
What's the deal with pets, dude? Why did superheroes need pets? Is it
to sell toys? Obviously, because the pets will sell the toys.
That's probably it, but like, is there nothing in like these superhero universes where it gets like a bit ridiculous? You know?
No, superheroes are dumb, dude. I love superheroes. They're dumb. In the live studio audience, there was pointed out. Wadden did point out that there is a Chip or CH''P, who is apparently separate from another chipmunk superhero Green Lantern who can go around and do stuff. He's been in the movie before, I think.
Hello?
Or yeah, the video games, not the movie. The video games. Let me see if I can find an image of his minifigure. And yeah, here we go. No, it's Dexter. Never mind. All right, never mind. Let's forget about this stupid Green Lantern stuff. Let's just keep going. Wait, hold up. Did you guys know that
are they
Lego
Marvel
Lego DC
ever make,
Superheroes
like, a
3 that they had or Lego Batman 3, sorry. They have stupid Daffy Duck as the Green Lantern from that episode of Duck Dodgers in the 24 and a half century. Yes. Look at this.
Remember
that episode? Remember that TV show?
I do.
I love the Looney Tunes.
Duck Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
I love Duck Dodgers, dude.
I love that too.
The intro is hilarious to this day.
There was one episode where literally he went to the laundromat and he like got his costume exchanged with Jon Stewart, I think, and he was a Green Lantern for a bit.
I love it.
So I guess they included that in Lego Batman.
It's canon or something.
Yeah,
canon
I guess.
I don't know.
Sure,
it's canon.
Do you think Marvel?
What?
Do you think Marvel will ever like run out of stuff in the cinematic universe they'll make?
As long as it keeps making money, dude. I don't think. And honestly, like they're doing better.
Make a Super Pet movie?
I don't know. That might be too ridiculous for them.
Star Wars.
I mean, they did. They made a movie with Rocket Raccoon in it.
They did. I mean, like
they can probably do anything at this point. You know.
Part of the thing with Marvel too is that like they're giving their directors a bit more freedom now. Like so like they
maybe
might see
too much
all sorts of stuff. We don't know. But let's move on to some other stuff. One of the things that is kind of big and but like we all knew it was coming, is that the Lego Ninjago movie has been released on Blu-ray
very quickly.
DVD.
Oh,
coming
really
soon.
That's good news for me.
It's been like 3 months or something.
Comparatively to
it
other
has
movies,
not been quick.
It is quick.
It has not been quick for a person who has not watched the movie and has been completely unable to for a very long
Wait,
time.
X,
So
have
I
you
am
not
very
watched
happy.
the movie?
I have not watched the movie.
Oh
like
my
I
God.
said,
Do you-
I missed
okay,
the
listen,
We gotta
do you
sync
wanna
it
do
in,
some-
please and thank you.
Do you want to sync view it? Here's what I want to do. I want to do a commentary. We used to do these commentaries way back of the BIONICLE movies, way back when, and I would love to record an actual commentary of the Lego Ninjago movie and like put it up for like Patreon or something. You know,
That would be awesome.
I
The
think it'd be
movie
really
Yeah,
fun.
I'd probably
it's a
just
gem,
hold
alright.
off on not watching it.
Yeah.
until then.
If you haven't seen it, X, I really want you to be there when we do this. Because I have
having
some.
a pure,
I will yell
strong
at the
feelings
screen if
about
I
this
watch
movie.
it.
Yeah.
just from nowhere.
Yeah, I speak a lot when watching stuff around people. That's why I prefer watching stuff alone. So if we're gonna do that, I will I will absolutely shower you with opinions. It's going to be crazy.
That's awesome.
You're going to die. You know,
That
but
would be
I'm
amazing.
looking forward to that movie. I couldn't watch it myself because the very first week it was out, they only have, for kids movies in Norway, they only have the original voices for the very first week that they're out, and past that they're all in Norwegian all the time. And I refused to watch it dubbed.
Yeah, I get you.
Because it's the same 4 people in the entirety of Norway that dub absolutely everything. Because I don't know why, but it's been like that for years. The people I watched as a kid on like dubbed TV shows when I was a child on like Cartoon Network or whatever, they still do the voices today in the Ninjago movie, and I'm just like, I can't.
No,
do this.
I
Maybe
feel that.
you should
I
become
feel
a
that.
voice actor, X.
Yeah, I'll sign up as a voice actor. It's like,
Yeah,
Disney,
get it done.
come,
Get it done.
I'll just-
Yeah,
They only use
hire
4
me,
people
Disney.
and
All right.
Probably an easy job to get. I mean,
I went and checked, and you were correct in saying it's not ridiculously soon. But the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie came out over 4 months. There were over 4 months in between their theater release and the DVD release. Ninjago is under 3 months. It's like a few days under
but those movies
It's time for
didn't,
Christmas, I think.
like-
That's why they did
exactly.
it so early.
It makes
so
complete
few-
sense. They have to push it
Yeah,
out
but
for
like
the
it would
Christmas
make
season.
more sense if that movie was really good.
Rip.
I'm so upset about the Lego Ninjago movie. It's probably the thing I'm the most upset about this year.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, it's not. It's
Exactly.
Let me think
'Cause
about.
you
I'm thinking
just-
about it. No,
Did
there's
you
other
not
things.
watch the latest Star Wars movie? You know,
It's true,
just
dude.
putting that out there.
It's true.
But it
I
was
try to
great,
forget about
guys.
it.
It was a meta
I-
commentary.
Listen, it's supposed to be bad. The director's saying movies, you don't need to care about Star Wars. Stop caring.
Exactly.
That's
Did
the
he
last
really
Jedi.
say that?
No. There's just I read it online. Some people were like, "No, it's supposed to be like you're supposed to be disappointed by this movie. It's supposed to be you're supposed to let go of the past and let go of your expectations that Star Wars would
I don't
actually
think
be
you're
good."
ever supposed to be disappointed by anything.
No,
I think disappointment.
Listen, we're gonna get into it.
Keyword Lego.
We might legitimately Lego The Last Jedi sets were also disappointing. Prpl, thank you very much. We might do a brainstorm episode that's around Star Wars this week. Me and Bar are talking about
that'd
it.
be cool.
Like, we might do a brainstorm episode and just
That'd
do
be
a
awesome.
very special episode where we talk about Star Wars and like redo Star Wars.
Oh, can
That's
I join that?
Do you want
By
to
all
be on
means.
for? Yeah, dude.
Let's
Jump
do it.
on
If
it.
it's
Let's do that.
Brainstorm and
That's
it's
a good
Star
idea.
Wars,
Yeah,
That'd
no.
be-
Listen,
I have no idea how Brainstorm works.
We
at
brainstorm,
all,
dude.
but I
brainstorm
really
is we
I'm really
complain about
passionate.
something and then we redesign it. That's
We're
what
like,
we're
how
gonna
would
come up with
we
a better
do that?
movie.
Yes.
We're gonna come up with how
Dude,
would we do? movie
I'm gonna
better.
do that.
Dude,
I want to
yeah,
do that.
listen, join us. It'll be fun.
I want to join
Me,
in.
you,
I want
Meso,
to
Var,
complain
and
about
Ben.
Star Wars.
And
Let's do it.
and
Just didn't know about it?
good question. I don't know.
I think he knows the movie's bad.
Hey, Ben.
No, he doesn't, dude. Have you been reading our chats? The secret Star
But
Wars
it's
spoiler
okay.
chat?
If
He
he
doesn't like
enjoyed
the
it,
movie.
I am jealous
I'm-
of him.
yeah, I'm
because-
okay.
Happy if
I'm
you
okay with
enjoyed
that.
it. I
Yeah.
would never want to take
Yeah.
people's.
Yeah, by all
enjoyment away.
means, if you like the latest Star Wars movie, that is okay.
Yeah, I wish
I'm
I could be
100%
you.
okay with that.
You know, it's like
It's
yeah.
that I like it. Just I'm not going to get into it. It's
There
gonna
is-
take 3
It
hours.
there
seems
is
like your
something-
What else do
reactions
we
have gotten
have?
progressively more negative, X, the more you've like talked about it. I remember at first
No,
you said
I-
you liked it just comedy, and now it's like I didn't like it.
No, I think like over time. Well, you also got to see it before everyone else, and before the backlash really started happening of people being like, "I really didn't like this movie," and you warned me last week. You can go back and watch the tape. You warned. Well, maybe you said it after the episode, but I was like, "I'm excited for Star Wars," and you're like, maybe don't get too excited. And I'm like, "What do you mean, dude?" I was,
Whenever
I did
say
kind of think like, "Oh no, X might be a little picky about this one," and I walked out of that theater being like, "I didn't like that movie." I don't think I liked it.
I loved the story. I hated parts of it, and there were some parts that I just like. There was some nature of the movie where I just did not like.
We'll get
whatsoever, but,
into it.
The core
We'll get into it,
story,
Arthur. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it. But yeah,
There
I'm
is.
not gonna
I want to
get
point
I
something
want my
about the Lego
Constraction
sets.
figure.
This
Go on.
there's a certain Lego set. This one, the First Order
more
Heavy Scout
sets.
Walker.
Okay,
That
what
was
is
not in the
this?
movie, right? This is a Lego
That was
set.
not in the movie.
That's not in the movie.
Hold up.
It's cut.
Hold on a
Was it cut?
second.
It was cut. There's concept art outside of there, and that's like the
I
only.
mean, I'm assuming
official...
they didn't just pull it out of their butts, where their Lego was like,
No,
yeah,
it's-
let's make this.
This set has
They
to
do that with battle
unfold, right?
packs,
The
to
legs
be
have
honest.
to unfold.
Maybe
Because that just looks like a jumbled
awkwardly.
mess, but I'm sure they unfold. But
What
that
if they
looks like a
don't?
disgusting set.
Well, I think it actually kind of looks cool. I don't think the legs unfold. I think it walks. So there's a wheel underneath, and if you rolled it, the legs look like it's walking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I actually think that's a kind of a cool concept. But I don't have that set, so I don't know. That being said, there was another set we got, and I think sorry, go on.
It doesn't work as what it's supposed to represent, if that makes any sense. It just has the illusion.
I'm sure there's never a review of it out. There's a set we got that we were going to review. But this literally, I don't even know where it would appear in the actual movie. This is the Sand Speeder.
That's not for the movie.
Why does it have the Last Jedi thing on top?
Because it's just marketing.
All of them have that every single season. Every single season.
General Grievous and Mace Windu that has the Last Jedi box marking.
Oh, does it really?
They always.
Never mind
They have
then.
one art for all of their Star Wars products each year, and it's not just Lego. Like, that kind of style there is on pretty much all Star Wars merchandise, and they have a new one every single year. And that is a throwback to an old action figure set that was just a tan snowspeeder, basically. So it's this kind of like a very obscure thing that they've done, but yeah, it's not related to the movie at all.
Interesting. Let me see if I can find a photo of this. Oh, no, that's a really small photo, but I will throw it up anyways. But yeah, you're right. There's this tan sand speeder that's like a little
tan speeder.
a tan speeder. Yeah, it's when was this released? Actually, you know?
The snow speeder? Like, no,
the sand speeder.
The old tan snow speeder?
Yeah.
The sand speeder? Oh, yeah. Longest time ago. Like, ancient, basically. Like, before 2000.
Jiddle noticed that the First Order snow speeder is also cut from the movie, which I understand. That movie is 2.5 hours long, but there are other things that could have been cut for that movie that we will get into in Brainstorm.
But I will say, though, that sometimes with Lego Star Wars sets, there is things which were not in the movies and were never mentioned in any movie ever.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
It's been made canon for Lego to sell a set. And an example of that is this little thing, which is canon in the Star Wars universe.
Let me see.
And it only exists in Lego shape. And it's hilarious. If you go to Wikipedia, you can see that an article of this and the biggest Star Wars Wikipedia there is.
That's so cute.
That's how box art used to look. We were talking about box art the other day, weren't we? Or you guys might have talked about it the last week while I wasn't here. But the box art has improved in quality like tenfold since then.
Yup. That's awesome. The Imperial dropship.
Yeah, and there you see Wadon from our live studio audience linked to the biggest Star Wars Wikipedia in the world, in which the entire article surrounds a Lego Battle Pack set.
Nice.
And the only sources is Lego first mentioned, and that's it.
I like
that's
it.
The entire
great article.
All right, we're gonna like run through some bits of news here. That kind of came out that I kind of want to talk about before, because we're kind of running out of time. We still got to do Exxtra MoC. So there are 2 new sets, or I guess they're sets. They're not what you would normally think about sets. Yeah. Well, the first one actually is going to be this Legoland set, the Legoland Castle. It has 220 pieces. It is going to be probably released for like $10 or something at Legoland next year.
Get hyped.
That is so cool. I want that.
It's cute.
Cool
Yeah,
set.
it's like one of those things. It's 220 pieces for a $10 set, which is actually a pretty good deal.
If I lived near a Legoland, I'd buy it.
I want that so much because I love riding the Lego Dragon whenever I'm in Legoland, and I have a lot of fond memories with this. So,
you actually get to go to Legoland, dude? Huh?
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Dude, I've never been to Legoland before, and I think I'm too old to go now. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff is like aimed for younger kids a little bit.
Oh, it is. It was really weird going there as like a date with my girlfriend. But that's like, I think that's the closest thing you can go right now. Cause like it would be kind of weird if we went there, like everyone, all of us, or that's probably like the closest thing to going to Legoland. But like next to that is probably like going as a date.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There is another set being released.
Look at pretty Lego stuff.
It was kind of odd because everything was like definitely geared more towards like actual kids and not an 18-year-old at the time. So I only fit on like one of the rides, and it was probably one of the scariest things I've ever been on. It was like, it's this Lego Friends ride. And it's like all the seats are like these horses and they strap you on, but then it starts like swaying back and forth like a pendulum on the circular platform that starts spinning, and eventually it goes like really fast and you're going back and forth fast too, and at one point at several points you feel like you're just gonna be launched off the freaking platform strapped to this dumb horse thing. And yeah,
sounds like a
torture chain. I found the photo. Look at this.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at this.
That looks crazy.
That is a lot more crazy than. That seems 100% like a normal ride that they've just girled up.
I mean, it probably
it totally is. It's like a billion. It's at every carnival ever. Man,
girled up normal ride.
Oh my god. Hang on.
I don't know how to describe it. Feminine. I don't know.
Do you think there's ever been like boys who want to go on that ride and the parents have been like, "I'm sorry, that's a girl's ride. You can't go on that."
Probably. That's I went on it with my dad.
There.
So there's a video of it. You can see.
Did he like it? Did he find it too scary?
Where's this video, Prpl?
I just linked it in the chat.
Oh, I thought you actually you made a video of you and your dad going on it.
Oh no! Are you kidding me? I was gripping onto the handles for dear life.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna play a clip of this video on.
Okay, play it from like the middle
screen.
or something, because that's when it starts speeding up. Like 20.
Whoa!
16. Yeah, it's. I want to go on this with you guys just to like see what your reactions are.
Okay, well, at 121 it's not that great. Let's skip a little forward.
Oh yeah, whatever it is, like 112, 113.
At 112, all right.
Because yeah,
yeah. I mean, it seems a little. Yeah.
I feel like I'd be very disappointing at an amusement park. I just wouldn't get like excited at anything.
Really?
No, I feel like I feel like you would too, honestly.
To this day, I've never been like spooked by a horror movie. It makes me sound like a tryhard, but like I just don't jump at things. I don't get spooked.
But do you?
There's
have you been
also
on a roller coaster before, though?
Yeah, there was also like this roller coaster there that is definitely for kids, but I went on it anyway, and I barely fit in the car. But it goes really high up. But since the cars are so tiny, I felt like I was just gonna fall off.
Incredible.
So, yeah, they also had oh man, what's it called? It's like one of those roller coasters, but you're strapped in by like your shoulders or whatever, and your feet are just dangling.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, but because I actually fit.
Was there a roller coaster that looked like this? Like, crap! No, stupid mouse! Why would you do this? Come back to me. Like this one with the dragon.
I don't think that one was there. If it's not in Legoland, Florida, then no.
Really? I feel like they have. That's like a staple of Legoland. Like they have to have
I have
the
like
green dragon.
no memory of going on that. I feel like I would have remembered like the euphoria of my childhood dream coming true, but I don't know.
So riding a Lego dragon, that's fair. Yeah, I think you would have.
That makes sense.
All right.
I think Prpl Dragon would remember seeing the dragon.
Think so. I think so. All right, let's move on to the next set that we have here before we run out of time completely. There's a seasonal wedding set that actually just got announced. It is kind of cool, actually.
It's pretty unique.
It's a really unique idea, and actually, it's pretty fun. It's probably going to be, they suspect it's going to be priced around $10. There's 132 pieces. Features a bride and groom and like a buildable altar and stuff, and also like different hair pieces.
A lot of hair pieces.
Yeah.
Get this for the hair.
Good
pack.
source for that.
honestly, you could, and it probably would be pretty useful if you wanted to have like a lot of civilians with those kind of hairs.
You know,
but
if they didn't already sell Cole's hairpiece in like a bunch of sets already, I'd be flipping out right now because it has like his hair in this, and I'm like, OMG, but because it was only in like,
and it also has
it was only in like
too.
one other set before, like it was officially sold. It was like a collectible minifigure and like a calendar thing. So I literally went on the hunt for this piece because I guess I just didn't know what Bricklink was at the time, or it was like stupidly expensive or something. So like I went to a Lego store specifically to find this piece, and I got it in like the calendar, and then I just repurposed the calendar into a minifigure stand. So
aren't you clever?
My friend's getting married next week. One of my good friends. He's my roommate for a while. So like I was like, oh, I should get this, but I can't. It's releasing in 2018.
Rip.
And I
give him an IOU.
They have done
with a picture
something along these lines. I will say though that they have done this kind of thing before because I vaguely remember, but this is a great version of that because it actually has some cool pieces in it.
I've been wanting to do custom minifigures for a while. I would talk to you about
that.
I have. For a very long time. I've really wanted to get into them. And one of the things
it's pretty cool.
One of the things I've always wanted to do, honestly, I wanted to make custom minifigures of my friends and give them like as like a party, not party favor, but like as a like as a cool thing because like they all know me as like, oh yeah, you're the you do the Lego stuff, and they'll like he was my roommate, so every time I got sent like the big box of Lego, they'd always be like, oh cool, let's see how it came by. So I thought it'd be really cool if I did custom minifigures of like my friends in real life and like it actually looked like them and stuff, and he went out of the way to make them all custom and he gave it to him as a gift. But yeah, just an idea.
Get on that, dude.
Yeah, no, I've honestly like I have a lot of weddings coming up, guys, and I can't afford that many wedding presents.
There were a few years ago. You just put in a blitz. Is it gonna happen?
No,
again?
There was this year.
What is it with all your friends?
This year, I went to 4 weddings in 4 weeks. That was like during the summer, and just last week, my friends, another one of my old roommates got engaged, and like last month, another of my friends from my church got engaged, and then a friend from home is getting married next month in January, so I'm going to that. And then there's one other wedding that I forget where it is. I'm gonna have to like figure it out.
One of my friends is even dating someone, and it's Ven.
X is dating.
You guys, you gotta go out a little more. You gotta meet some more people.
I don't date.
Just you, Prpl.
Yeah,
I didn't say you have to date people. I said you have to meet people, friends you can have go to their weddings. That's what I was implying.
I have a lot of friends already. I don't need more.
You'll show up to my wedding, right, Prpl?
If you invite me.
I might not. I don't know. Who knows? We might not be friends by
not.
the time.
Okay.
You gotta keep it
in the far future, when I get married in like 10 years.
I mean, if I can even afford to go, because I'm assuming you're not gonna have it like down the street from me.
X, would you go? It's kind of far for you, buddy.
I'd go to your wedding, man. I'd travel across the world. I don't care, man.
Hey, you're a good friend, dude.
I like weddings.
You're a good friend.
As long as you have milk there, I'm good.
We had a discussion, actually. We've had a discussion of Ben would invite us to his wedding. Remember that? Remember this, Meso? I think he would. Actually, the last time I asked him, he said he would have.
Yeah.
I just show up anyway, regardless of whether or not he invited me. Like...
But that's not proper etiquette.
Man, I don't care. I'll
freaking
bring a present or something, get a coffee maker, I'll probably need it.
Prpl, it's kind of a big deal if you show up to a wedding uninvited.
Really?
Fun fact. Yeah, well, depending on what kind of reception he has. Because my friend's been going through this. I helped him with I didn't help him with the wedding planning, but like he was talking to me about it. And he was like, we're just doing, I help him with different things. You actually have to pay for like every seat at the wedding. So if someone doesn't show up, if you RVSP and you don't show up, that's kind of a big deal because they paid for you and you didn't come.
I'll bring my own money. I'll bring my own chair, just one of those metal fold-out ones sticking in the back.
So now suddenly you've gone from I'll go if I can afford it to I will not only go, but I'll also bring my own money and a gift and also a chair.
Yeah. Where are you going to stay?
What?
Where are you going to stay? You going to pay for the hotel too?
I'll camp out under the snack bar.
Maybe I shouldn't invite you just to have you come out of spite. I'll just like invite everyone but you, and you'll be like, listen.
Wow, I see how it is. Not inviting your freaking best friend. I see how dare you.
Well, at that point, I will have a new best friend, Prpl, and he'll be the person I'm marrying.
Oh yeah,
It'd be kind of weird. Yeah, I love you, but you're not my best friend.
Wow. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyhow, all right. Let's move on to the next bit of news, or I guess like something cool that just got announced. There's a new app for Lego. Lego fans. It's not by Lego. It's a fan app, but it's called Brickstar. It's a very odd name. Not the name I would have chosen for an app. But it's supposed to be like this app, kind of like Brickly. If you guys have used Brickly, where you can like share your MoCs, but you can also share your MoC instructions and do all that in 3D.
Ooh.
So like if you do LDD and stuff, you can upload it there, and then like it's supposed to be a new enhanced experience. This is fully integrated with Brickset, so you can log in with Brickset and it'll import your collection into there. And I found this on the Brickset website, so I'm assuming that they are at some level completely, or not,
they're either involved or
involved or something. Yeah.
So
is it a direct competitor with Brickly then? Is that what it's trying to do?
I'm assuming so. It's like it's based around 3D stuff. Like so, the whole in like the press release they gave, I'll link that here. You're supposed to be able to rotate it, rotate the 3D model and view how to build it in 3D and everything. However, all the sets they show on the mock-ups they have are all physical sets. So I think you can actually like upload just photos of your sets as well, which would put it into direct competition with Brickly. We'll do this. You can actually see that. So it's an interesting concept. Brickly, actually, have you used any of the fan apps like Brickly or obviously I guess you haven't used this yet, but have you used Brickly at all? I
want to use Brickly, but the thing is that it's only for Apple phones, and I do not have an Apple phone.
Fair enough.
So I have verbally abused them on Twitter for them to make one. They have still yet to do that.
Well, X, I mean, it's your fault for going with like a trashy phone.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say that you're allowed to have your opinion, even though your opinion is wrong.
All right. Well, I mean, listen. There's one platform here that can go on Brickly and one that can't. That's all I'm saying. I'm actually like, I got the iPhone 10, so I am fully into the Apple ecosystem at this point. I'm not turning back, and it is the best thing to ever happen. The iPhone 10 is amazing.
I'm glad it makes you glad.
Last thing we're going to talk about real quick, we're just going to cover it. It's the news that, and we've been talking about it on the TTV podcast for a bit, but we haven't talked about how it's going to affect the Lego. And there is one big thing I'm really excited for, and that is the fact that Disney has bought Fox. They announced it last week. They have bought over almost all the assets from 21st Century Fox that aren't like news or some other divisions.
But John, and that, it hasn't happened yet. The government might stop it.
Listen, okay, if people have brought that up in the chat, and they obviously haven't, like, if you actually look into it, the whole point, the government is not mad. It's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, Disney's going to own so much of the movie stuff, and for some reason that people really don't like that, even though that's, I can get the whole thing about movies. But what the government's worried about, they're not worried about the movies at all. They actually, their main concern is cable. They say Disney will own too much of the cable channels. And I thought, what a weird thing to think about.
I was looking forward to seeing him in Deadpool too.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
now he's going to be in Disneyfied, and
I was thinking about like how crazy it is that they care so much about cable, even though, in my opinion, cable's out. Cable's like just completely gone. From my view, it's not completely gone to the thing, but it's dying. Cable is getting less and less subscribers every year. So it's odd that they would prioritize that.
I thought you were talking about the Deadpool character Cable.
Messing with that joke, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the
government got together because they're like, Disney cannot own cable. There's one thing. There's one thing.
So it was the other way
around. He's a national icon. I don't know if Disney can be allowed to own this character. Now they're just talking about like actual cable companies and if Disney owned that. And it's funny because if the government did stop them, all that would happen is that they would have a larger thing about which assets they would get and which assets they wouldn't get. So even if they did decide that it was antitrust that was voted, they would still divvy up the assets. And more than likely, if Marvel, Disney gets any assets, it's going to be the Marvel ones because they're already part of Marvel. Disney or DC owns all of their stuff, so they would probably get that anyway. So it's a moot point. But Fantastic Four sets. We have never seen the Fantastic Four Lego set ever. We have never seen any minifigure related to the Fantastic Four. We have never seen any set related to the Fantastic Four. They're some of my favorite characters from Marvel, and I've never seen them in Lego form, and it's always annoyed me, even when they had the new movie come out.
Time to kill your hype. Thing will be a big fig.
He will
Mr.
be.
Fantastic will have the Miss Marvel arm.
The Miss Marvel arm,
where it's
you're right.
like the tube, and the other two will be cool, maybe.
No, the Thing is going to be a big fig. I'm going to have to accept that. I think the Thing works as an Axel fig really well, actually. I would love if they did an Axel fig of the Thing because he actually, out of all the characters, he fits that the most. And the Hulk, I guess. And I wish they did that with Thanos, but apparently they have not done that with Thanos. Just going out on a limb saying that they haven't done that. Not that I know or anything. But
speculation.
That and also we haven't gotten X-Men sets in a long while. Marvel basically blacklisted the Fantastic Four and X-Men from comics. Well, not completely from comics. They blacklisted Fantastic Four, but not X-Men. But from the licensing and stuff, they stopped producing a lot of X-Men toys and they stopped producing a lot of X-Men Lego sets. And in fact, the last X-Men Lego set we got was, I believe, the one of the Sentinel. There's another one of Deadpool and Wolverine, but I think we've only gotten 2 of them.
And they were both very early on. So
we did get a Mighty Micro with Wolverine and Magneto, so that might have been the latest one. But
we haven't seen them much, basically.
Yeah, we have not seen them.
We've seen a lot more Batmans
at all. I'm trying to find a photo.
I'm still very surprised they actually made the Deadpool set.
Actually, it's kind of interesting. It was before the movie came out too. It was actually kind of interesting.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah. And I remember I specifically got that set because it had Deadpool in it, and I was,
and Wolverine and Magneto. It was pretty good.
It was a really good set.
It was a really great helicopter.
Yeah.
Magneto was actually a really cool thing as well. They had a custom helmet for him and everything, and it's classic Magneto from the comics too. They all had their comics costumes, not like a movie costume. Wolverine had his classic yellow spandex, which he never wears in the movies, so that was really fun. But overall, it'll be interesting to see the X-Men get Lego sets finally.
Definitely.
I'm wondering right now because it hasn't gone through yet, right? The deal hasn't gone through yet for Disney, and I mean not hasn't gone through yet. There is a chance it might be blocked or delayed. That's what I'm saying. The deal has been signed, everything's good to go, but they have to still integrate it, and it's going to take time. They might not be able to use those licenses. However, they could use them in toys before then. Because right now, again, Disney blacklisted or Marvel blacklisted all these characters from appearing in toys. But now that they have those licenses back, they could bring back the Fantastic Four comic book. They could say, hey, Lego, you can do a Fantastic Four set next year just because we have that license again. And, we can do, do whatever we want with it.
Neat.
So, anyhow.
Very true.
That's what I wanted to bring up there. Wadden did post that there is a Mega Bloks Fantastic Four set. That I did not realize was a thing. This is frightening.
Looks very spooky.
Get that filth out of here, man.
This is why people hate Mega Bloks. Right here. This is why.
This is probably very old though.
This is an old Fantastic Four. Yeah, they've been better.
Wow, that looks like
at least
crap.
The Thing isn't a big fig here. It looks like garbage. All right. Let's move on to the Exxtra MoC.
Woo.
All right. So today, I have something actually really cool. Whenever people make something from space, they always have a super mecha, or they have a incredibly important bounty hunter or legend or something, and their starship. And so I'm very intrigued when people just make industrial stuff like that. It feels a lot more grounded. It feels like it's a part of a cyberpunk world or science fiction. And so this guy, which I'm going to say his name because what has happened in the past now is that I completely forget to say the name. His name is AMA 77 Watt. And here is his creation, which is a depot for all these starships and different vehicles that he made in 2016.
Oh, man. Okay,
That's
hold
incredible.
up. Let's get this up here.
And he made quite many cool like I was looking through all his creations. I was just like, which one should I pick? And it's just like, there's a picture there with all this stuff.
The ship
and
2016 Deeper.
Which one is your favorite, Prpl, of all these ships?
I like the mech thing in the back there with the claws and stuff. That's cool.
I like the yellow thing on the left.
I said ship.
Maybe
Prpl.
it has rocket thrusters. You don't know.
No, that's an official set.
Oh, really?
That's
You're right. That was
slightly
cool.
modified.
Yeah, it's that one by Lego Ideas.
Oh,
They
I
put
think I
out,
might
right?
have
Lego
that
IDs
set.
one. Yeah, which early on, which is made by another Flickr person, which was really funny because first time that I saw him post on Lego Ideas, he's just like, "Oh, you're just putting some of your old creations on Lego Ideas. You really think that's gonna make a set?" And it literally became a set, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I remember like seeing that on Flickr like years and years ago with my dad, and we were like, "Oh man, that's so cool! Imagine if that was a set." Basically, like how you were just now. And then we saw it and was like, "Wait a second, wasn't that just a thing before? That looks really familiar." So
Yeah. So this entire creation brings me very much back. It's very much mimicking the style of the Space Police set, the Space Police 3 that we saw. I don't know if you guys remember them.
I do.
Probably
I do remember him.
Yeah, you can
I
probably
love the
see some
minifigures.
resemblance there in some of the ships here. I just very much like the whole industrial look that he has, and it looks very Lego-y, if that makes any sense. Like some of these could probably be like one of these more old school Lego sets. This guy seems to have a lot of very old parts, and he makes very liberal use of them. You can even see some old BIONICLE parts in there to make a
junk pile.
on the yellow freight. Do you see that?
Oh,
that
wait.
it actually. What'd you say?
Wait, the yellow freight?
Yeah, the yellow
Oh,
freight.
right,
yeah.
it's
Freighter.
carrying. Yeah. It's carrying a thing of bionicle
Yeah, you
parts.
see at the back there. There it can like fold up, and it's like this spider mech or something. Like basically everything you see in this picture, you can go through his stream, and you can look at some at a closer look at some of his creations. Here's some, but he's improving steadily though, as you can see in one of the more recent ships that he's made. Which I posted right there.
Ooh, I really
and
like
you can
that
see it, and
dark one at the bottom there.
Yeah, and I just very much like
Almost
that
an
he's
old
using.
school car
Oh,
ship.
the dark red one is
That's awesome.
amazing. I love how it looks like an older model of a car, but it's like
Hearse.
melted with a
Yeah,
starship.
yeah.
That is
Right?
so cool. I love that, man.
I just like that he's using a lot of different color. I really, it's really dropped me over the years with Star Wars, and they always have
Gray.
black or white or gray ships.
right,
and
exactly.
So I really want Lego to make just spaceships like this. And whenever I say that it looks like Lego looks like Lego, I mean that in a sense that it just looks very old school brick built. Because right now, with all the sets and modern pieces that we have, you can basically make a creation as smooth as you want to, because you have all these different slope pieces and everything and snot pieces. You can make it so that every single creation that you make, you don't see a single stud.
Right.
So it's very refreshing in the midst of all these super detailed things people are putting out on Flickr, that you still have something that brings a sense of nostalgia to, like these sets right here. Or not sets, but creations.
This dude makes dragons too.
I just realized that like I put the wrong thing up on the stream. My bad, guys.
What'd you do?
I put the wrong image up. Or I was looking at it at Chrome and not Firefox, and this is the way I have it set up. But yeah, anyhow, this is the thing we were talking about beforehand. This is the that car, the dark red car. Cool little things. You're right about the whole deal, X, with having like older like style of building. There's definitely something I've seen of like the newer MoCs, and like this has it reminds me of like the Lego sets that I used to get when I was a kid, basically, you know, like they had a certain style to them.
It's got that old school appeal.
Yeah, right. And I like the new style. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like I do like the slopes and the, you know, not having studs, not being able to see that, but there's something nostalgic about seeing something in this style as well.
Yeah, it's very much in that, like, whenever you see something on Flickr super detailed, you're picturing in like neat looking shelves on display with like glass over them. These kind of sets, I'm kind of picturing them like on the just in a room full of Lego and like on the floor and being played with, if that makes any sense. That's the kind of feeling that's bringing to me, and I just I felt something.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
I just wanted to. That's why I like these creations very much. So,
Prpl, you posted the space limo,
dude. So
I
cool.
want to talk about this for a second. This thing, I mean, it is. I totally get why you like it because it's also purple.
It's a great limo.
It's really good. It's fantastic, honestly.
Black, purple, and gold is like one of my favorite color schemes.
The gold works so well with this color scheme. I wouldn't think it would work as well as it does, honestly.
Well, it's like
just
the gold and purple are sort of like complementary colors, and the black is just a neutral one. So,
so you guys like this MoC that Prpl posted, the limo?
You don't like it?
No, I'm just wondering what you guys feel about the actual set that came out.
Oh, hello there. I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't know.
You gotta buy that, Prpl.
I totally do.
Wait, let me.
All I think about this set is I love that minifigure to death.
Yeah, so it's a slightly improved version of a already existing set.
Interesting.
Like I said, the
improvements.
Never
saw that.
When you improvements you see when they're side by side, the ones he has made is still a incredibly amazing.
When was Space Police released?
Way too long ago. It was
2009 or 10, I think.
Yeah, right. I remember seeing these when I was a kid. Oh man, this is a really cool set too. It was probably around that time where like I was too young to have money. Where like you're old enough. There's a weird point in life where you are like people think you're too old to get Lego, even though you like it. Like people don't buy it for you as a present anymore, but you don't have your own money. Because you can't work, you can't have a job yet, so you can't buy your own stuff. I was like, you're like 13, 14 is generally around that time. Where like sometimes your parents are like, oh, you're too old to play with toys, we're going to get you socks instead. And you're like, but mom.
But yeah, it's from Space Police was 2009 to
2009, okay. Well, there we go.
And it was probably one of my favorite themes just because it was both space and they had a bunch of unique characters and ships because they kind of had this like villain theme going on, which was really cool. It was like because they
better
could just
done Hero Factory.
Yeah, basically, but at a minifigure scale. So
all right, one last thing before we wrap up the Extra MoC, if that's okay with you, X. That is okay. This MoC over here, what's it called? The Dusty Tentacly Xenomech Attack.
Oh, dude, that's weird. It's got these small babies in it.
Dude, I like how they use like those bodies from the whatever they're called. I don't even remember. They're like racer
things. Those are from like really old, like erasers things.
I love
aren't they
to death?
Weren't they also like? Wasn't there like an exopod kind of thing that used something like this? The Prpl,
probably
Prpl container. Am I misremembering that?
That's why you posted this Prpl, because it's got purple colors.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed, X, but Prpl kind of has a thing. Really good use of construction too. So. Honestly,
look at those claws.
Yeah,
how they're constructed. By the way, there's a 1x4 axle in it, and it has the like more modern balls. If you could call them, and then it has like the old ones on the side, and it looks very streamlined because it goes with the same style as the rest of the CCBS joints going through there. So kind of looks very tentacle on those clothes, like
I love. I'm looking at this. There's the thing where they are like they've captured the astronaut, basically all these little babies inside this weird thing.
Yeah, I really
alien,
like.
I don't know where
I really like
the smiley face.
How it's like triple or whatever.
Yeah. How they organize that. Yeah, that's really cool. All right.
I think we've covered this guy pretty well.
All right.
So if you like to see more of this guy's creations, you can go on Flickr.
Yeah.
And his username is AMA77 What.
I sometimes wish people put their the name they wanted to be shouted out as on their Flickr, so we could actually. I don't know if this guy has like an actual thing he wants people to follow, but he doesn't want the.
This is
username,
the only thing I've seen of this guy.
What? All right, well, there you go.
That's it. We'll put a link in the description. You can go find it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Go check this guy out. All right, and I believe this is the end of the BrickFeed podcast. Now the Exxtra MoC is over. I think we've wrapped just about everything.
It's not over.
It's been a good episode, guys. It's been pretty good. I actually, X, I never got to publicly congratulate you on a really good episode. Last episode.
Oh, thanks.
You did a really good job.
Section.
I was listening in the yeah, I know, right? I was listening in and I was like, yeah, this is good. I've actually people. I don't know if people are thinking that I've been secretly salty at X that people like to Meso host, but I thought he did a fantastic job.
Me and John, there's nothing that's gonna.
I've actually been behind this. I've been suggesting X to take over for some episodes for a good while. So he's finally getting around to it, and I'm really really happy that
good guy.
The audience really liked him.
That's really great because I was very not planned and
I know you kind of. I knew you kind of nervous about it. You were talking about
I was super. I had no idea what was going on. I was just
it comes with practice, but
Meso helped me though.
You did you did a solid job last week, and hopefully we will see more of that to come because I need to go on some trips kind of soon because we got a lot of weddings.
All the weddings.
You'll be taking over, buddy. You'll be there for a little bit.
That's okay. I'll be more planned next time, and I'm gonna make a show. It's gonna be great. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Thanks for listening to this episode of the BrickFeed Podcast. We will see you guys next week. As always, if you want to follow more stuff that we do, you can go to our YouTube page at YouTube channel, I guess, at youtube.com/the TTV channel. That's youtube.com/THETTV channel, and then you can go to our message board, support.ttvchannel.com, and also subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel. That's about wraps it up for this episode of the BrickFeed Podcast. We'll see you next week. I'm John.
I'm Meso.
I'm Prpl.
I'm the Exxtra Trooper.
And goodbye.
Farewell.
Bye.
I feel like I say we'll see you next week 5 times.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. This is
next
BrickFeed
week.
Podcast. This is
We'll see you the week after next. See you
This is
next
the
week.
BrickFeed Podcast, and I'll see you next week.
And bye.
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 See you next week.